So team in training is just a part of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. It is one of the many fundraising programs that the overall Leukemia and Lymphoma Society puts on year by year. It's a nonprofit organization, and the overall goal of this is to find a cure for blood cancers. With our fundraising programs, we also not only fund research, but we provide financial assistance to patients and their families now to improve the quality of life of what they're going through now. Through these fundraising efforts, we provide funds for hospital parking passes so families can visit their loved ones, educational programs, mentor sessions, if you will. So if someone is newly diagnosed, they can go to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society office and get set up or partnered with someone who has actually gone through the disease itself, and to help them prepare, or to let them know that someone has been in their shoes before, and to let them know that it will be okay, and to help them through their treatment. With Team in Training, we offer, or the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society offers marathons, half marathons, triathlons, and century rides, as well as hikes. So it's a sports endurance program. It's actually the largest sports endurance fundraising program in the nation. So we definitely want to help find that cure for cancer. And with the San Diego chapter, we have volunteers as well. It's a nonprofit organization, of course, but we actually have honored teammates. And so these are people who have had the disease and who have survived and who have fought it. We have Caleb this year, who is actually one of my mentees, and he's had leukemia 3 times, and he's in remission now, and he's healthy, and he's enjoying life, and he's loving it, and you know, it's just great to see that he was able to beat the disease. And if people didn't have a connection before this, they have a connection with Caleb. So we actually had an honored teammate picnic where people can share their stories about cancer, about how blood cancer has affected their life, or their family's lives. So whether someone had a connection before the program or not, they have a connection now. And before each training session, we actually have a mission moment where someone will speak and will share their story as to why they're running, or as to why they joined Team in Training. Who wants to wake up and run 26.2 miles and put their body through that much pain? It's definitely about my uncle. I think about him during every single run. Sometimes in New York, we would train in 20-degree weather. And here, oftentimes surprisingly, at San Diego, you would expect it to be sunny, but a lot of times actually it's pouring rain. But we still run. All of us still run. Cancer doesn't stop, neither do we. So we're gonna continue to train no matter the condition, unless it's lightning. But we train every Saturday morning. I'm up at 5 in the morning, don't go out on Friday nights. I run probably 6 days a week just to get in the proper training and to make sure that my body can run the necessary mileage for that week. A lot of it is sacrifice. To me, it's worth it. Each run I do is for him, and I just want to give him the respect that he deserves and that I may not have been able to show him while he was alive. So I know deep down that he knows what I'm doing, and it helps me deal with his death. Still, it's 10 years later, and sometimes it's still really hard for me, especially during marathon day. I get kind of emotional because I think of him. And I remember after I finished my first marathon, I crossed the finish line, and I was fine. Like, I held it together, I was really excited, and then my sister just kind of like peeked over a fence and was like, "Jay, Uncle Sonny is so proud of you," and I just broke down because I knew that he was, and I knew that he was with me the entire time. So during each of my marathons, this will be my 3rd full marathon, I carry something of his to remind me of him and to let him know that he's with me. So my first marathon, I actually wore his hat. My uncle always had a hat on his head, and my dad gave me his hat to wear. So that was really, really special. My second marathon, I carried a toothpick with me. My uncle always had a toothpick with him. Always had a toothpick in his mouth. I don't know why, he just loved them. So this marathon, I'm still thinking of what I can do to pay tribute to him. The first marathon was in San Diego. It was in 2009. It was kind of cold, actually, but it was perfect running condition. I remember before we all took off, they started playing Journey's Don't Stop Believin', and like got us all pumped up. It was really cool. I was running with two of my teammates. We kind of all bonded and ran together. We ran at the same pace, and we promised to always, be there for each other during the marathon. So, once you're starting, your heart's beating all fast, and you don't know whether or not you can do it. There's always some sort of doubt, because the most you run before a marathon is 20 miles, and an actual full marathon is 26.2. So of course you're nervous, but there's so many people cheering, and once the gun goes off, you're kind of in shock, and you're like, wow, I'm really doing this. And I remember, like, once we crossed the initial start line, like, we looked at each other, we're like, there's no turning back, we're doing this now. So it was actually probably one of the best days of my life. One of the greatest accomplishments that I've ever done. Definitely once I get to mile 18, I definitely was hurting, but I managed to go the 8 extra miles, and I finished. We ended at the MCRD base here in I believe it's in Point Loma, and just the crowds were cheering, and I actually sprinted to the finish line. I had enough energy to do it, and it was the best moment of my life. That once a cure for blood cancers are found, it's just a mere stepping stone to cure all cancers. So it's definitely something that's important to me, and something that I want to keep doing to pay tribute to my uncle and those who are fighting for their lives right now.